Everyone in the village feared Whispering Hollow, because people who entered the valley after sunset often returned with a strange warning, or never returned at all. In a small mountain village lived two siblings, Ethan and Lily. Their lives were simple. Their father was a carpenter who worked long hours repairing furniture and building wooden houses. Although they weren't rich, they were happy. At least, they used to be. Everything changed the winter their father disappeared. One morning, he left for a nearby town to deliver handcrafted furniture. He never came back. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. No one knew what had happened. Some villagers believed bandits had attacked him. Others whispered something far more frightening. Whispering Hollow, a mysterious valley hidden beyond the northern forest. The place had been feared for generations. People claimed strange voices echoed there at night. Voices that knew your name. Voices that knew your deepest fears. Ethan never believed those stories. Not until the night he heard one himself. It happened during a violent storm. Rain hammered against the roof. Lightning flashed across the sky. Suddenly, knock, knock, knock. Someone was at the door. Ethan grabbed a lantern. Slowly, he opened it. No one was there, only darkness. Then he noticed something lying on the ground. A small wooden box. His heart raced. He picked it up and carried it inside. Lily watched nervously. What is it? Ethan carefully opened the lid. Inside was a single folded piece of paper. His hands trembled because he immediately recognized the handwriting. It belonged to their father. The note contained only 6 words. Find me before the next full moon.
See you at sunrise.
Nothing else. No explanation. No location. No clue. Just those 6 terrifying words. And beneath them, a strange symbol. A symbol no one in the village recognized. That night, neither child slept. Because, for the first time in months, they knew one thing. Their father was alive, but he was in danger. And somehow, time was running out. The next morning, Ethan showed the note to every elder in the village. Most shook their heads. But one old woman suddenly turned pale. You must destroy that note. Ethan frowned. What do you mean? The woman pointed toward the symbol. I've seen it before. The room fell silent. Where? Her voice dropped to a whisper. Whispering Hollow. A chill ran through everyone present. The old woman explained that many years ago, travelers reported seeing the same symbol carved into stones near the valley. Those travelers never returned. The villagers begged Ethan and Lily to stay away. But how could they? Their father needed them. 3 days later, carrying only supplies and a map, the siblings entered the northern forest. The journey was exhausting. The trees grew thicker. The air became colder, and strange things started happening. Sometimes they heard footsteps behind them, but no one was there. Sometimes they heard whispers, soft, distant, almost impossible to understand. On the 4th night, they finally reached the edge of Whispering Hollow. A thick silver fog covered the valley. Nothing could be seen beyond it. The place felt wrong, unnaturally quiet. No birds, no insects, nothing. Then a voice emerged from the mist. Ethan, Lily froze. The voice sounded familiar. Too familiar. It sounded exactly like their father. Without thinking, Ethan rushed forward. But Lily grabbed his arm. Wait, something wasn't right. Their father would never call them into danger. Suddenly, dozens of voices echoed through the fog, each one sounding like someone they knew. Friends, neighbors, family, all calling their names, trying to lure them deeper. And that was when they realized the truth. The valley wasn't speaking. Something inside it was. Something intelligent, something ancient, and it wanted them to enter. At the center of the valley stood a massive stone tower. Ancient, weathered, older than anything they had ever seen. The whispers grew louder as they approached. Inside the tower, thousands of glowing lights floated through the darkness. Each light contained a voice, a memory, a piece of someone's soul. And standing among them was a tall figure wearing a black cloak. The keeper. For centuries, it had collected voices, memories, dreams. It fed on human fear. Every traveler who entered the valley lost something precious. Some lost memories. Others lost courage. Some even lost their identities. The keeper smiled when it saw the children. You came willingly. Ethan stepped forward. Where's our father? The keeper pointed upward. High above, trapped inside a glowing crystal, was their father. Alive, but unconscious. The keeper explained the terrible truth. Years earlier, Ethan's father had accidentally discovered the valley's secret. He learned how the creature tracked human voices. Before he could escape, he was captured. Now, the next full moon would permanently bind him to the tower. Forever. The children had only one chance to save him. Destroy the heart crystal hidden at the tower's summit. But nobody had ever reached it, because the crystal protected itself using people's greatest fears. The climb to the summit was unlike anything Ethan and Lily had imagined. Each staircase forced them to relive their worst memories. Ethan saw visions of failing his father. Lily saw visions of losing everyone she loved. The illusions felt real, painfully real. Several times they nearly gave up. But every time fear threatened to overwhelm them, they remembered why they came. Family, hope, love. At last they reached the summit. There, floating above a stone pedestal, was the heart crystal. Inside, it swirled thousands of trapped voices. The keeper appeared behind them. Its shadow filled the room. You cannot win. The tower shook violently. The crystal glowed brighter. And suddenly, Ethan understood something. The crystal wasn't powered by magic. It was powered by fear. The more frightened people became, the stronger it grew. Ethan grabbed Lily's hand. Don't be afraid. The keeper laughed. But for the first time, its confidence seemed uncertain. The siblings stepped forward together, ignoring the terrifying visions, ignoring the voices, ignoring the fear. Cracks appeared across the crystal. The keeper screamed. More cracks spread. The tower trembled. Then, boom! The heart crystal shattered. A wave of light exploded through the valley. Thousands of trapped voices shot into the sky. The keeper let out one final roar before dissolving into dust. Moments later, Ethan's father collapsed onto the floor. Free! Finally free! As dawn rose over Whispering Hollow, the fog began disappearing for the first time in centuries. The valley's curse was broken. The whispers were gone, and the family returned home together. But the lesson stayed with them forever. Sometimes the greatest prison isn't built from stone. It's built from fear. And the moment you stop letting fear control you, the prison disappears. Moral of the story: Fear becomes powerful only when we surrender to it. Courage isn't about being fearless, it's about moving forward despite your fear. If this story kept you watching until the end, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more original mystery adventures. Let me know if you'd like me to format this into a voiceover script with timestamps or line breaks for recording.